Hi, my name is Edmond P. DeRousse. I'm an author. I have several published books, Common Man Adventure series. I've worked on some, I write some poetry, I've done some history, I do some, I have my own webpage, I've done some blogging there, but I'm trying something new. I'm going to try this video blog. I've not done anything like this before, but we'll see what happens. Some of you might recognize me as someone who's graduated from high school back in 1968, Sparta High School, Sparta, Illinois. And as I said, this video blogging, I've not done it before. I write. I'm not sure how this is going to work. But I thought maybe I'd start it out with something that I know I'm familiar with, and many of you probably will be able to identify with it as well. I'm getting older, so I'm a writer. I get into the thing about looking at people, observing situations and things that happen. So, and getting older, of course, there are some challenges that I have to cope with. So I decided that I would try to blog about that. In fact, I have this blog on my website, but I thought maybe I'd share it with you. An easy way to do this video blogging is to talk about maybe something I'm familiar with. So let's just see how this works. See how many of these that you can identify with. There's only 10 here on this particular blog. There will be more coming. I have lots of observation, lots of challenges. So let's do these first 10 and see what happens. Of course, I'm enjoying getting older, so it's unpreventable. It's just part of life, and it's part of nature's plan. But regardless, I remember one time I made a misstep on my patio steps and I fell to the ground. My neighbor was out there and he was concerned about my health, and he asked me if he could help me get up. You know what I told him? Just let me lay here for a few minutes and see if everything still works before I get up. Went on a vacation recently to Florida. I observed young people driving around through the waters and the waves and stuff on a jet ski. I told my wife I wanted to try that. I'm 66 at the time. You know, she looked at me kind of funny, but she said, go ahead and go for it. So I signed up. I thought about signing up anyway. I kept telling my wife through the whole vacation that I was looking forward to riding the waves. But by the end of the vacation, guess what happened? It was all talk and no show. Toby Keith, he had a song out once called As Good As I Once Was. I can still say that. I'm still good at doing once what I once did. For instance, I can still run a 50-yard dash, I just can't run it as fast. And after I get done with it, I got to take a nap. I have a bucket list. I didn't know what a bucket list was a few years ago, and now I've written it down, and I add things to it, and I try to mark things off of it as I get through it. Young people, they seem to be different today than they were when I was one. For instance, they just don't understand the Beatles are not insects. The 50s and 60s rock and roll music is still the best music ever made, period. I remember one time when I was 48, that was the first time someone made me feel like I was an elder statesman. There was a young lady behind the counter. I was ordering a drink with a younger person, maybe at the time 15 years younger. I was 48. That person might have been maybe 40, maybe 35 or so. But anyway, she gave me a senior discount. I was 48. I got my first senior discount. That, of course, was a conflict for me. The conflict was, do I accept the senior discount and not say anything? Or do I tell her I'm not a senior? 48. I recently started riding horses at age 65. I got my own horse. I started riding a little bit before that. But the young lady who does my training is probably 30 years my junior. And she's telling me, she's giving me directions. And I remember her saying something like, I'm on the back of my horse, Aztec, and she's saying, turn your head in the direction you want your horse to turn. And I say to her, I can't turn my head. And she says, then turn your upper body. And I say, it's stuck too. Most kids that I went to school with, you know, we have different appearances. Some of us look more or less stressed. Some are bigger. Some are smaller. Some have less hair, or it's a different color. And some have different personalities than I remember. And there are some that I have no recollection of at all. Try getting out of a chair. That's as you get older. That's one of those things that presents a challenge sometimes. Sometimes just getting out of it, you don't have the right position. So when you get out of it, you have certain pains. So before getting out of that chair, I have to give some thought to it. What kind of a discomfort am I going to have? I have to get ready for that discomfort. And lastly for today, I no longer look at octogenarians. I'm not one yet, getting closer, but I no longer look at octogenarians as someone who has one foot in the grave. Instead, I look at them with admiration. They represent a great deal of history and have overcome many hardships. They know how to overcome. So I thought maybe I'd end today's session with a little poem that I wrote a few months ago, and it addresses an older age issue. It's called I Climbed a Tree Today. And here it is. I am blessed to be of good health, ability I do possess, to do the things of bygone days. Nearly 7 decades have come to pass. It was the 1st of March in southern Illinois, beautiful, sunny, and 75 degrees. Grandkids came for a visit, you see, and I climbed a tree today. We played outdoor. The tree was there. They had never climbed a tree before, and I got tempted. What a shame, I thought. So I challenged them to climb. The challenge was accepted. Their way, I helped them find. They got stuck. I got warned. They laughed and grunted, and I got reminded. 60 years it's been since last I climbed a tree. I climbed it anyway. And oh, I thought, what fun this is, ascending a tree. I still can do. Tomorrow, though, a chiropractor I may see. But still, I climbed a tree today. I'm not sure how this is going to work, but and maybe a little bit lengthy. I'll try to make them a little bit shorter, but I'm going to try to get another one posted once a week. The next one will be, again, addressing some challenges and observations about getting older. So until I see you again, I'm signing off.